Good morning, Commanders. We are back at it with our SR15 Volcanus run. We also have an SR11 run that we will show you. And we happen to have the need of all the exact same clip art from our Wicker run a couple days ago, so I copy-pasted to save some time. Alright, let's go ahead and dive right in after I ask you to please like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, hit that notification bell. And if you have any comments or if you've got a clever strategy, please feel free to submit it below and we'll take a look. So this is what we've been doing. This is my SR15 build. It should run through the Powerstones. We've got Unshackle and Berserk on all of our Warhounds, Unshackle and Corrupted Damage on the Direwolves, and then Corrupted Damage on the Wraiths. You can put Berserk on the Wraiths. They will crank a wicked amount of damage. I just didn't have any, and I'm able to do it without buying more. So we'll let that go ahead and play through so you can see how it goes. The Frost Wizard has double reload. I got it to level 12 this morning. And it doesn't need double reload. We're using the Claw of the Frost Dragon over here. This first attempt I did with the Ring of Unity just to see how it would go. And we'll show you that compared to the Amulet of the Panther Queen for the next run. But you'll notice all these extra frost bolts don't matter. It's just that, oh, holy smokes, look at that. What was that, like 6 or 7 in a row? Yeah, 50% chance with 2 reload stones. But we are using the Claw of the Frost Dragon because I'm able to clear to the boss in time. And if you weren't able to clear to the boss in time, you would probably do what I'm doing on my SR11 setup. So that was the Claw of the Frost Dragon with Ring of Unity. Here we're using the Amulet of the Panther Queen. So I am trying to think ahead now and show you what the differences are with each of these videos as I pre-record them. Alright, so here we're using Amulet of the Panther Queen, and look at everything just disintegrate. It's gone. It's those first 5 seconds that you get with the Amulet that you don't get with Ring of Unity while you're waiting for it to switch to the Nature faction. So we do a lot more damage. Now the Wounded modifier for SR12 and above gets you below 50% health, which means that Amulet of the Panther Queen and Berserk matter. For SR11 and below, as you'll see, I don't have any Berserk on anybody. And the reason for that is because you get 47.5% health reduction from the Wounded debuff, which means that Berserk and Amulet of the Panther Queen will not activate. So I'll show you the build for that in a second. I just wanted to kind of show you that it is pretty consistent for using the Amulet of the Panther Queen. And again, if you're having trouble clearing to the boss, you're not getting to him in time, you could, oh yeah, Saeed was seeing if he could get his Power Stone sorted out. Anyway, the Claw, you could switch it out for Primal Warhorn, and that would help you to clear to the boss faster, but then you would probably need an extra Frost Wizard to try and keep them locked down, and that's when you've got to try and space them in such a way that they'll offset their cast so that they're both not casting at the same time. And there's so much RNG with what dies and how fast and who's casting when and when they're running. It's just very difficult to get it consistent for how they run at the boss. So the goal is to clear to the boss with Claw of the Frost Dragon, and then you only need the one Frost Wizard. You don't need Clone, you don't need Reload. You can just have the one Frost Wizard so long as you've got, I think, rank 1 or higher on your Claw. So, and then just one more time, just to show you it is consistent. There's no downsides to this build. If you want to use the Primal Warhorn, you can, but I just don't think it's nearly as reliable. Again, we're using immunity and power that make sure that I clear in time, and the enhanced melee necessitates using the Unshackle. If you don't have enough Unshackle, then you want to use the Force Resistance Elixir. So if you've got enough Unshackle to put on everything except for your Wraiths, then you're good. The Wraiths don't need it because they're already immune to stun and physical forces. So the Warhounds, the Direwolves, those are all the things you've got to be concerned about. Oh, one more thing. Notice where my Frost Wizard sits. Okay? If anything touches that Frost Wizard, he's stunned for like 5 seconds. So I just figured, it's better to place him back just a little bit. The last couple of times we had Volcanus, I had him right up at that front line, and I couldn't figure out why he was useless. And it was because one little thing would tag him. Either Earth Elemental would pop, and the second pop would send a little dude, and it would just tag him. And then all of a sudden, I'd be having my entire army crushed by Volcanus, and nothing I could do about it because my Frost Wizard was sitting there for 5 seconds doing absolutely nothing. So for SR15, last summary, we wanted Claw of the Frost Dragon, Amulet of the Panther Queen, and I use Spear just because any lucky hits will help to clear all that much faster. And then immunity and power. If you don't have enough Unshackle, use Force Resistance. Okay, moving on to SR11. Okay, so this was my first go at SR11. I've got Unshackle and Corrupted Damage 4 on all of my Warhounds. I've got Clone on my Frost Wizard, and Corrupted Damage 4 and Unshackle on the Direwolves, and then Corrupted Damage 4 on all of the Wraiths. So I'm using Ring of Unity because the Amulet of the Panther Queen does not trigger if you're using immunity, obviously, which is required. But I can't quite clear to him fast enough. The immunity wears off, and there's still enough minions to where they're killing all my stuff. So yeah, I can keep him locked, excuse me, but I can't damage him enough because I don't have enough stuff left. Again, we're still using the power and immunity elixirs, still using Spear. The difference is that you only get 47.5% health reduction, which doesn't trigger your Amulet or your Berserk Powerstones. Some people in the past have used Draining Spirits, like they get some level 1 Draining Spirits, and they have their Warhounds run through them to where they'll disappear, but it does get them below that health. But that's just too risky in my opinion. So I switch it up. Ooh, let's rewind. Okay, so I switch it up, and I am now using the Primal Warhorn, and I think that's the only difference. I also dropped the Direwolves and just put in more Wraiths, because that'll buff the Primal Warhorn, and we will see how that does. Again, just the one Frost Wizard, but I do have Clone, so that effectively gives me 2. So you got to get really lucky with how they line up and who's shooting when. See, I was very fortunate that I tagged him at just the right moment. And again, just those couple minions left that kind of throw everything off. So it's going to be a delicate balancing act. You've got to find, do you have enough unit levels to push through to get to him in time to use the Claw of the Frost Dragon. If you don't, then you've got to use Primal Warhorn and hope that it lines up just right to where your Frost Wizards will shoot alternating and keep them locked down long enough for you to get the kill. Another issue with the Ring of Unity is that it'll change the stagger of your Frost Wizards. So that can be either a blessing or a curse, because if it's off to start with and then it gets on, then you're very lucky. If you're on to start with and then it goes off, then tough beans. So there it is. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that helps you to down the boss. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those below. And again, please do like and subscribe. Also, check out thecommandtable.com, where we have tutorials, raid strats, and soon we will have merch and comics. Thanks for watching. We'll have more content for you soon.